Football back, homies. It gets you every single
It's
time.
like, I'm not sure if you could hear, but my shirt also jingles every single time you do that. I'm like, and you can hear my like surprise based off of the jingle. It's crazy. We're all holiday themed up here, but anyways, take it away.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to get into our second VO3 of the day, with Seneca up against BBC and Friends, being the British Broadcasting Network
Channel.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, but yeah. Of course, the team, another team coming up from Collegiate versus another group of Friends, right, to head on into the day. Of course, in the winner of that, we'll be facing up against TMU Blue to get into our final series of the night. But we'll see what happens when it does.
Yeah, I mean, based on how things have went in that first, matchup, TMU Blue, it was a little bit close on that first map, but then ultimately they looked pretty darn solid. So the winner of this series, once again, this is a single elimination bracket, will be going up against TMU Blue to see whether or not they can take the win. Of note, TMU Blue has actually won one of these series before, and so they're no strangers to being in these high-pressure scenarios. I'm very curious to see who their matchup is going to be, whether it's going to be Seneca, whether or not it's going to be the British Broadcasting Channel and Friends, to see how things kind of shake out.
Exactly. Considering with both these teams, right, they're about ready to get into it too, as we do have our map picks and bans well ready to go as to where we'll be going. And you know what, Haven, Split, and Sunset. Split we didn't see last time, we're gonna see it this time at least.
Yeah, when Split came on screen, you were like, oh my goodness, I'm so hyped up right now, and then we didn't even get to map.
It's my favorite map.
Hey, this time we're guaranteed to see Split in rotation.
Yeah.
Haven, we've talked ad nauseum about it, but once again, most variety coming in. Very curious to see what the squads are going to be coming out with. And last but not least, we've got Sunset if we need to go to that final map. So at least we're getting a little bit of variety on that front. Out with the Lotus, in with the Sunset. Yeah. Very green maps besides Sunset, of course.
I hate Sunset. So
why? Sunset's such a fun map.
What?
Okay, it's better than Bind.
What?
You're wild for saying that.
You're so...
Oh,
brother,
we're gonna have a disagreement after this.
Brother, do you mean Bunset? You enjoy playing? No, man.
Oh, if you know what you're doing, it's a fun time. Oh,
if you know what you're doing, it's whatever.
Okay, well, going back to our map picks and bans, we're starting things out on Haven, like we said, and Seneca are going to be the ones who did decide that map. Coming into here, they're actually the third seed, and so BBC and Friends, they're the ones who are the second seed, and thus technically predicted to win this one out, just based off the statistics of the players. But BBC have picked out Split. So this first map, Haven, is going to be really important for Seneca to win, because coming into this matchup, if things are not looking too good for them, and you can't even get by on your map pick, then it's more or less spelling doom for yourself coming into map number 2.
What's funny is that Cheng Cheng is also a sub for BBC and Friends too, which is really funny to me. Whereas like he has to go come and then run it back again after just kind of being out from Radio House too. So it's like, you know what? Hey, I respect it. I wonder if I don't think that you need the sub, but should be chill nonetheless. Though as we do to head in, they just like in just a little bit. Now with that, I believe players are ready to go too. We're all ready to go. So let's see what either these teams and games have for us in store, Marcus, as we get into our second BO3 of the day with Seneca and BBC with an agent select.
And let's take a look at what we're going to be seeing here. BBC and Friends going for the stock standard Haven comp. Potentially. Looks like that is going to be the case. We actually get to see okay, the Omen coming in as well. So I like this combination. You've got that Breach, you've got that Omen, a lot of just like flash, stun, pop, playing off of that Jet. Of course, we're going to be seeing the Sova come in, but on the other side, who knows what's going on?
Yeah, this is cool from Seneca. Phoenix, we haven't seen a ton of ever since the buffs has happened, but I do think he's gotten really good though. As I believe we are reversed a bit too. So for my Phoenix General, I'm excited to see. I like that with Phoenix Reyna coming in, the compositions, and especially with the Clove too. This is a very heavy-handed, as you're talking about composition, right? They are very gun forward, as I believe how you said last time too. So I'm interested to see how they play it out. Maybe on the other side for Seneca, right? You know, getting the comp of the Breach, Omen, Killjoy, like this is set standard for Haven, right? This is what you see day in, day out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing, right? Like, you rely on good old reliable, or yeah, you got a little crazy here.
Yeah.
And especially to understanding that it is going to be that Phoenix, seeing the Reyna come in as well. We talked about it a little bit with ISO, at how important it is going to be for them to be able to play off of the flash, make sure to secure those kills in order to move things forwards. And so very curious to see how this one's playing out. Also too, we got that difference between a Cypher and a Killjoy coming in. So curious to see how that one shakes too.
Exactly. Now, as we look to pop in for the next couple of seconds, I believe we do have a small remake as well. So they refine. Yeah, we do have to remake again because I believe we're supposed to be on opposite sides. So hey, all good. We'll go get that fixed up in just a couple of seconds. Should be fine. No worries at all. We're okay. Yeah, it's supposed to be because it's supposed to be the BBC on attack and Seneca on defense. So gotta switch that around. Yeah. Makes sense.
It's always tough too, because when you're in those custom lobbies, just a little peek behind the curtain. But it's very confusing as to which side is which, because I swear the colors actually change. And so it's just like intuitively, it doesn't necessarily make sense, but that's okay. We have a little bit of an idea on how these compositions are going to be looking like now. And I really want to focus in onto that double duelist, because, you know, we've got Seneca kind of coming in a little bit more. You expect to play the map here. And with the two duelists coming in from BBC, I imagine that they're going to be very, hey, let's just run it down and take a lot of space. The team's going to be with one of the duelists at all times, and the other one is just going to be taking up that role that we usually see like a Chamber or a Cypher do, playing that lurk in order to really get things going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it should be just a pretty easy transition to kind of move in and out of that, right? Just be able to, find. Like just find between what they want between them. Considering with Reyna and Phoenix too, it should be pretty interesting. Considering how they can just rush into sites with the Clove now too, right? They can just create so much space. I am fascinated to see what Phoenix gets done, right? Because like past the wall, past what Clove can put up, like it's just I'm expecting them to just rush in and just fight all the time. Which hey, I'm all for.
I'm all for it. It's been so long since I've seen a Phoenix be played at this level with like a good level of support as well. Yeah. I think that if you support your Phoenix, you can do a lot, but it is a little bit more difficult. When you think about the hit coming in for Phoenix, those flashes, sure, but for me, it's also the mollies as well. You're able to zone things out and allow yourself to move through. You've even got a little semi-wall to kind of play off of as well. That heals you. So, there is quite a bit of use for Phoenix's kit. It really is just going to come down to the team making sure that they can really support that play style.
Exactly. Right. Especially with the Phoenix buffs. If you guys are unaware, right, it is that now he doesn't have to stay in his fire anymore, right? So that's pretty easy to be able to just pop in and out, and then just moving through walls and past his molly. So now he can move around a bit freer, and also with the heals being an option as well now. More so. He doesn't play so scared and around his util. He can do as he wishes. For now, though, it'll be a quick quad stack into rush right in through B. Push out the smoke, stays alive for a couple of seconds, starts to tag, but gets put down just consecutively by that Phoenix, right? And with that, it's 4v5. Phoenix managing one more in quick fashion, rushing through, right click, shut him down, but still 3 alive here.
3v4, sorry, onto this retake. Next, a little post plant setup here, all on site. And why was he finds one?
We'll take one more though, but from here it's gonna be the BBC to clean out the rest of them. Yeah, Easy does it with frenzies. They'll rush at them so confidently.
And this is what we were really expecting from this composition. We expected it to be a little bit more aggressive. Exactly what we wanted out of the Phoenix there. Able to move in, take a lot of space, find a couple of kills as well. Seneca were completely just kind of taken off balance. And this is such an interesting thing that always happens when you come up against a team with an unfamiliar comp. You see teams struggle initially. But what I'm hoping happens for Seneca is that they're going to be able to pull their heads together again, figure out what needs to change, and start to figure out counters for this. That is really going to make or break this team on this map.
It's just, once they down Dexy, just out on the open, gets taken away with the 4-stack onto B. They try to get a second fight once again by window, but getting punished off the initial, and now with the C-side being wide open, Like, turret not really gonna matter here. They can just take this site, get the plant down.
Yeah, Spike gonna go down, and not a ton of, or sorry, quite a bit of retake potential coming in from Seneca. Question is whether or not they're gonna try and find a couple of kills. Maybe Victor finds one.
Yeah, it's with YBZ also can take in the DK is gonna hit so heavy, it delays them even further, pushes them back, knowing that one shot to anywhere could just take them pretty instantly. With the rest Phoenix not coming around, or gets punished with the arrow. Oh, and okay, Nuku at least finds one in the open, but 21 health. Might be able to take one if they're not looking at him, but they know exactly where he is. Even with main character moving against him, it should be that in 3, 2. Wow.
No way. Oh, that's wild. But you're just kind of having fun. And yeah, Spike goes down.
Yeah.
All things considered, not terrible from Seneca, though. Able to drop 3 of those rifles or those weapons. And so it is going to be a little interesting to see how this buy goes for BBC. This is going to be Seneca with the clear rifle advantage in this next round. Already, the run it back is online. Phoenix getting so much value. And on top of that, too, because this is one of those rounds where you don't have necessarily better long-range weaponry, that is going to be huge. You can play off of that ultimate, move so far in, take so much space, and then that's really where those SMGs are really going to thrive.
Yeah, and this is where, you know, for Seneca, this has to be where we can stand. But the running back you were talking about, right? Flash and B opened up. No one actually seen, no one heard from either. So shots put up, anything to clear some space away. That BC to be the take, like I looking to hold off site, but instead they center themselves around a full line through a little U, a question mark even, as to where they're around holding for all the B here, Marcus.
And it's so slow on this retake right now. Dexy able to find one. Finally, the retake is underway.
There we go, to find 2 in quick succession as well, and respect this out of Seneca, right? Guns in their hands, taking 2 away, only 1 left alive, and now with Bates able to get 1 off this, but no instead passes smoke. Omen takes his. And around in their favor.
Yeah, and honestly, I was going to be like, Seneca, what are you doing? You're taking so much time. You're just hanging out, stalling, not really doing anything. And yet, well, at that point, they just look like the SWAT team moving in. They just decide, all right, time to just run it down. And they enter in so decisively. You can tell the coordination is there between those members on Seneca. Of course, there still was that weapon disadvantage. BBC kind of coming in, swinging like the Wild West, guns ablazing, take over the site. They've been excellent at that. Seneca have to be really good at these retakes if they want to shut down BBC and friends. Bit of an awkward buy, main character only onto a sheriff. Fault line goes in, and Cosmic Dusk looking for something. Spots one out there, gets a couple of shots off, but the swing comes through. Excellent headshot, looking for a second, can't find it.
Yeah, that's tough though, but Seneca, again, this is just enough to just stay them away, if anything, from the site for now, though. Realizing they've already lost 1, they can look to stay here and with the information, anticipating rotations to come through. But with 3 already here from Seneca, for the side of BBC, they're gonna have to be more careful about this. With smoke not going down to, I think rotation should be imminent for them to just move away and try to reposition, try to go to C if anything. But for now, they'll cut off noise and take the time.
It's so hard too, because none of the agents on their team have any utility really to find information. They just have to burn through those flashes, clear every single corner manually.
Yeah.
Don't really have any tools besides maybe a couple mollies to really flush players out. But they're really relying on frag forward gameplay. The rest of BBC taking their time outside of that A site, allowing this Phoenix to take a lot of space. And just like I said, they got to burn through those flashes just to retake.
30-second exec to walk in, those rushing through the sites. Ball line to throw down 1, but Cosmic Dust catches him immediately. And with them having heavy control without not being smoked off, will mean they can just, it's just a free firing range for the rest of them. Cosmic taking 4 in great succession.
And honestly, like, this is going to be the name of the game for BBC, playing with the composition that they have. Giving up map control is something that they simply cannot do. Because if they simply do not do that, then they give it up. They have to use their utility now to re-clear so many areas. We saw it happen out front of A long. They had to expend Arena Lear just to take A long again. Never mind the fact that they needed it to be on site and flash the opponents off to be able to retake. As soon as they yield a bit more ground, then Seneca, they're at an advantage. BBC either have to dry swing a lot of those corners, or they have to use that util to clear, which is making it so much more difficult for the squad to take space, and information already taken as a Dexy will, keep him back.
Yeah, I mean, not to save you, right? But Cosmic Dust is pushing past up so far through the trip with the breach being there. This is the classic Vision Strikers play, right? You flash in through, man, you do it again, and yeah, you can run it back to the playing so aggressive. A triple reload. Luckily, I can flash in the setup to run past them. It was all just blind and caught and reloads. Nuku and Cosmic who all by themselves.
Yeah, speaking of map control, another example of that, Seneca, we're able to flank them so hard because there's no information for BBC about that flank. They hard committed and immediately get kept at arm's length. And being kept at arm's length, that was so much easier for Seneca to be able to play that retake. They had them boxed in C long, nothing really to do. And well, Seneca is really starting to storm ahead here. BBC will have the rifles bought up this time. They do have that Cypher ultimate, but I don't know how much value the Neural Theft will get unless you're able to find an easy kill and then have a better idea on what site you want to storm.
And now instead of playing on A off, just Sova. You're able to take the space onto A lobby here too, not rushing peak because it is smoked off at the entrance. Signaling that perhaps C might be the take to look move to garage. KG Util is shot out. We'll call for rotation from Sova. Already the breach already moving here through, but now with this, I think they've done their job, right? They moved over, they've sold the fake, but they're hearing this.
Keep in mind too, they've got so much presence on a long Seneca controlling all of that space, so they have an idea that it has to be the B side or the C side until those footsteps get heard. Until that Jet gives that information, then they have to stay strong in their defense.
And Jet's still around the corner, waiting for them to walk through. Doesn't realize where they are just yet, though, but from here, this will keep an interest going. Spike now rotating over onto garage once more. That's another 30-second take, though. YYZ, ooh, gets the first.
30 seconds
and now
left.
Seneca might be in a bit of trouble. With one being gone, your anchor taken away. It's Afro West moving through here first. Now looking at him, takes two. But garage still wide open. Nuts on wind. Main character left alive, puts out the Empress. He's gonna have to plant eventually. Win. They're out of the open season. Walk by. Now they know exactly where he is. He has to plant now, and it has to be done quickly. 8 seconds left to go. Has to push out the fake to make them walk through, but it's 4 seconds to plant. He doesn't have enough time. They can just stay alive. That's just it. Yeah, Cosmic even takes him.
And I wanted to call out that just Cosmic Dusk being so smart, playing that flank on that A long.
Yeah.
Of course, we see a little bit of heroics come out from Muku as well as Wind, being able to slow down the squad, making sure that BBC has such a difficult time going in. And then at that point, it's just a brain game because Cosmic Dusk completely flanks around and main character had no idea potentially where they were coming from on the map. So excellent little just team play coming in from Seneca. They've got 3 ultimates here, are close to getting another one online. BBC, on the other hand, do have 3 of their own. Hunter's Fury is well available. Could be an excellent tool, but I'm curious to see how they want to use it. We haven't been seeing the aggressive play that we would have expected from the squad.
Another safe position from Cosmic Dust. Let them off walk by. This could be a massive triple. 1, 2, 3. Give it to him. 4 in the ace and France, but denied by Bait for Life. That's why you check your corners, kids, because you have to. And Bait, in fact, does a fantastic job of cleaning up because the rest of the team now, A long, they got shut down to 2v1. It's possible.
It is possible. Both smokes as well available. A camera. This time, though, Bait for Life going to be going in onto this B site. If that plant gets heard, we could see the Nano Swarm get popped, which could stall for just an additional second, but I'm liking how Seneca are playing this right now. Close smoke going to be going up. Spike now going to be initiated. And here we go. 2v1 onto this retake. Seneca still kicking.
They don't expect this, but shooting in the middle of the 2 of them. Not able to land the position as to where they could be. As Seneca continued their streak. One by one, they keep fighting just these like close edge rounds where they decide, you know what, I'll play this corner, I'll get 4. Why not, right?
Yeah. And we talked about the composition coming in from BBC and Friends, right? Yeah. No information. You know what would have been great there? Some information.
Yeah.
Well, they're Sova. I mean, yeah, they do have a Sova, but unfortunately, they're not, like, this is the kind of balance you would want to get between all of this, because keep in mind, the smokes that they have coming in as well, it's so, like, it feels like it should be very deathball-y. We should be seeing BBC and Friends just steamroll things forwards. But because they're holding back, because they're giving up that space, to clear some of those corners and all that type of stuff, they have to expend their utility or just kind of dry peek it and go around the corner. And it's in those little errors that Seneca seem to always come out on top. They're catching them off guard, finding just that one hole in this attacking squad's plan, and are able to absolutely capitalize on it. And I think Cosmic Dusk did a fantastic job exemplifying that in that last round.
As of right now, though, they'll go for a full 5-point hold between the two of them. BBC and Friends look to slow things down to a crawl between the two of them. The garage push now being looked at, but stayed away because the util. They'll instead move the efforts towards B, but there's the op there. And that'll make the life much, much harder. They're gonna use the run it back. They're now all in. Maybe can stick one gets out with his life, but huge. There's now the ultimate outflow.
Last player standing.
Ridiculous! The art is here to make them explode in garage.
Wow,
That's a hazard.
Seneca, excellent timing, but also too excellent trap that they got set up there. Had the fault line, stuns everybody.
Yep.
And then the Hunter's Fury gets 3. It's just unbelievable
Gorgeous.
stuff. But once again, that utility combination coming out, and we've seen this on some of these rounds too. Seneca playing the utility just off of each other has been immaculate. What a round to watch. That was honestly a pleasure to watch
Beautiful.
that work out. And they didn't even need to take a gunfight with that.
No.
3 kills basically for free. Fantastic stuff coming in from Seneca. BBC, I mean, I talked about this at the beginning. It was a little bit different, but now Seneca feel like they're in the steering wheel. They know exactly how to play this and know exactly how to counter BBC's interesting composition.
A save now for BBC once again. So use the Owl Jones to catch a win. They have to give up the space, but at least they slow them down with the Molly. And now with the smoke, they have to be wary of somebody looking to beat them here again. And it is Win here watching the angle, but no one's actually made it in. Bait's taking a bit too many shots and too much damage early on, but use the smoke and allow YYZ to walk his way in past this. And then using all the useful early on to take garage control. But with C, they have Killjoy in moving over towards Yen by long and in towards Cubby, so they can move the way back and have the op now found. They don't check the corner. Win can just stay here.
It's so tough at this point. Like, every single time they're expecting to at least win one of those duels, like I said, they have to use their utility to clear out all those corners. They don't really have anything that can flush people out, and they're taking so long to take that space that it's allowing Seneca to get set up in these nifty angles they're not necessarily expecting, and they're like, it feels like BBC and Friends are just getting caught off guard every single time they swing around, which are just 3 kills for Seneca. And Afro 6 able to get yet another one. A Paranoia comes through. Afro 6 not done, looking for that last one. Oh, at least able to get one. 5 HP, but gets gunned down. Seneca, I mean, they look dominant on this defending half so far.
Yeah, off the flash too that was taken for the breach previously. Miku just sets him up, but interesting choice by main character too, who looks to jump in when he's full flash too. But nonetheless, for now, Seneca looking comfortable, looking good, and momentum most definitely behind them.
Most definitely. I mean, 7-2. I'd ask you for what your bet is, but I don't want to know because based on the last, maybe we don't want that piece of
I'm not betting
information
anymore. I've lost too much. I've lost it all, in fact.
That's a good allegory for things. And well, this time around, going to be a little bit more aggressive. Oh no! If Dexter got caught there, that would have been the door wide open. But a lot of information given. They're going for the 5-man rush.
Yes, sir, but retake is a definite option considering they do have the Rolling Thunder, which is to be set up here on the other side. So as soon as that plank goes down, that should be their goats. Their ghost time once that does get here. So once they get around to it, like this should be the way they make the way back in. Now 2 playing offside, 3 on though. Rolling Thunder should be now looking to walk in for them to allow to walk in past the site. There it is. There we go. That's 2 now caught. 1 was back on the side. Main character is the first, second. Nearby mid side, but Billy managed to get out though. But they're playing 4 off, so they can just spam this. What to do? Arcus Free baited out. And now tags 2. This was big. And 1's taken as well too. But that's where they got fighting out. And fight they do. Smoke dissipates. Nothing to cover. I'm gonna get the plant in time.
I gotta say, I feel like that's just game awareness. You know, The spray through the smokes, getting so much damage onto BBC and Friends. You see that they have to like reposition themselves around.
Yeah.
Even with the Hunter's Fury being able to find a kill, doesn't make enough of a difference. BBC and Friends, they're so scared to kind of poke around the angle because the spam just did so much impact on that post plant. And Seneca walk away with yet another 8-2 now. A lot of ultimates on the board for Seneca. While BBC, I mean, they really try to make that one work. The Hunter's Fury got used up. The closest that they can get right now is going to be the Neural Theft off of the Cypher.
Yeah.
And I don't know how good information that is.
Hey, I mean, let's see. It does depend on the situation where they match the final course, right? But all info is good info right now. Just 5 stacks up, and out this time looking for the gambling to be. Let's all walk into this smoke. They'll have to reposition and see what they can get. Past the drone and through the wall. Later, the flash is massive. He can repeat with it too, just barely catches him. Muku and Afro cleaning up again, past one past the other. Disgusting, man.
And I gotta say, unbelievable map awareness from Seneca on that one.
Yeah.
What we saw there was actually Dexy and Cosmic moved out of C side and A side. So they were holding that down, not seeing a single soul. Okay, we know at this point they're going for that 5-man rush.
Yeah.
Must be going B. You see the reposition from Muku just into the back of the site. Already the reinforcements are coming in from Seneca to pinch him off to the sides. And like you said, just the flash timing perfect. The reinforcements swing in, flash again, swing around the corner, find those kills. Seneca, it's so rehearsed and well done in that squad. Last round in the half. Are we looking at that 10-2, or will BBC at least able to tie things up? But Dexy finds that first, making the light just a little dimmer for BBC and Friends.
Yeah, there's 4 ultimates online and 3 weeks right away, and that's 2 people gone. And that leaves Seneca with 1 more chance to try to re-hit any one of these 3 sites. But with 2 people moving together and 1 as a solo, it makes me question as to what they can try to get done here. So they know the opposite option.
And already one flash got expended. I mean, they've got 2 more flashes and a Cypher. Like, it's just so difficult. At least they're able to find that first pick onto Cosmic Dust. But still, like, it's hard to enter in.
Yeah, because, I mean, sure, the op is down, but playing a 3v4 suddenly makes it more possible. There's no theft, like you were saying. So, I don't know, now they know their position, realize C-side is wide open. And they can look to re-hit that too. They'll move the way backwards, go into B. And now this time, though, no flashes, that will slow them down, but they're covering it at 2 different cross angles, right? The one playing off 1 sees it, jump peeks, and we'll put the smoke out to slow them down. Once again, they have 30 seconds left where they have to move in. It might have to be now.
And it's so difficult. Like, they almost have like nothing really to push in, and look, that KJ ult is gonna force them over. The paranoia is excellently timed, but a great leer.
And now with this, they have to get the plant down now. There it is. Our spirit just hold on the plant, but it's not enough in time. Spike will go down and stops them for a second. Our spirit playing off of Dexy. We'll take 1 more. That's a 2v3. A huge flash, but it's off of them. They shoot at the Dexy. Takes 4. He stays alive.
Dexy MVP on this defensive
Jesus, man.
unbelievable. But at the same time, like, watching the coordinated swings come out, like, they get 1 kill, someone flies around the corner and able to find that pick. Like, it once again, those fundamentals for Seneca just feel really solid. And it felt like just based off of their utility alone, they could force BBC into weird positions where they didn't necessarily have the tools that they wanted. The fact that they pushed up, eliminated the clove so early means no more smokes on the site. That's so much more difficult to go through. And what are you going to do? Have Cypher throw down his Cyber Cage all the way up in heaven on A? It's so much more difficult for BBC and Friends to take anything. But now they're on the defense. Seneca on the attack. I'm curious to see how this one is going to be playing out. Based solely on the utility available, it feels like Seneca should be on top. And gamble stacks on both sides. BBC and Friends going on A. Seneca going to be charging in C. We could see just a massive flank come through with that on their retake. So this is going to be an interesting pistol.
Yeah, they're just walking their way. They see that nobody's around. Right, U2 expanded naturally right off rip. So that should be going down. And with the camera not taken out, finally they get 2 tags off that. Now with this playful retake.
And look at this, they're just coming through the spawn again. I would have expected a little bit more of a wraparound. Not going to be the case. All going to go thrown up and hot hands out.
Yeah, through logs though, they actually cut off towards the back of the site, so now they're gonna walk away and pass that with the flash. There goes the curveball, but it's they're all three there watching, waiting. What? It's taking 3 with a ghost. Oh, it's James Bond, man. That's crazy. Shaking, not stirred.
11 and 2. If Fnatic can do it, so can BBC in France. But
Yeah, I don't know this one.
it's looking a little bit rough. And honestly, I thought that the retake was doing a pretty decent job. What I thought was really interesting about that retake that we saw BBC and Friends use is the utility came out to flush out a lot of those corners. We didn't really see that on their attacking half, which is kind of interesting. We're seeing them now buy up here, stingers in hand. This has got to be a run it down type of momentum that we're going to be seeing from the defense. Seneca, on the other hand, calm and collected, are going to be going for that classic A-side push. There'll be a lot of info given away, and yeah, it's going to be spotted out. So the defender should be aware that it should be an A-side hit.
Yeah, I think they just didn't shoot that in time, but now with that, all that information being given over, the triple stack on A is what they'll have to face. But to slow it down, they'll take their time trying to sell the fake here to see if anybody looks to move over. But as right now, there's still 2 on the outside. Spikes in the hands. That's one taken. YYZ now punish Muku. Takes him because of the repeat. But now there's Spike still on. But actually, no, Spike wasn't dropped. So now from here, they'll look to make their way through sewers, 2 around. Main character watching that angle. But the flash the way through it, 2 shot dart puts out. But the second taken just dry peeks and walks away. I'll take 1 to 3v3. Afro 6 so low. Good paranoia here to keep them alive. Oz makes to walk in, catches him on the timing. Phoenix just not looking at him. And now with 2 left, Spike finally goes down. And Seneca just picking them apart one by one like it's dirt in their teeth. And their guns of the toothpick just flick away consistently.
1v3. I wasn't following that analogy. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's fine.
Oh, already spotted out. You're able to find one, but Afro 6 finds that. And see, this is an interesting thing coming in from Seneca on the attack. Like, they realize, yo, they just got stingers. You know what the stinger doesn't have?
What?
A lot of bullets.
No.
So, hey, we just swing together.
Yeah.
We're sure they get one, but we're able to find one as well. And then we can force the door wide open onto that A site. And now we see Seneca 12 to 2. BBC and Friends have to find this round. They lost the last one. They had to invest in the last one. Well, Seneca, I mean, it's just easy sailing across the Atlantic right now.
I mean, their bias are decently similar because they lost a lot of people last time. So, you know, we're seeing like decently similar. In fact, I would even say that BBC and Friends have better weaponry. Seneca only having 1 hero rifle on the red, right? With a couple bulldogs nonetheless to match them. But you get the hero rifle, that's Cosmic. Fighting up against Globe, takes one out, opens up B, and a Stinger catching one, being Dexy, who's been electric this entire map. So that's a Cosmic to get the trade. Oh my! Catching the whiff of him, easy pixel angle. He is shooting.
Oh, it's awkward. Cosmic Dust wins that one out. Football gets utilized, caught with the fire out. 1v4 this retake, and just like that, that's Seneca. 13 to 2 against BBC and Friends.
A very dominant game after, you know, what was just the pistol and the bonus. It did not look close. A gun round taken, and on not even their map pick, in fact.
Yeah.
So it looked good. Split is what they're more comfortable at. So I'd be fascinated to see where they managed to actually get more dominant somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. And it honestly just came down on that map specifically to a utility difference and coordination difference from Seneca.
Yeah.
I mean, they're coming in under the banner of Seneca College, and that means that they've had some time to play together. They've got those practice reps in. It did feel like BBC, on the other hand, were just relying on a little bit more just raw frag potential, but couldn't even be set up for that because it's just the Seneca utility that would come out, stall them out, make them uncomfortable, allow for those awkward situations where Seneca can find multi-kills, and then BBC and Friends almost have nothing left available to them.
Yeah, honestly, just playable confident too. Cosmic was just not afraid to pick any single corner and realizing that it'd be fine. He probably had somebody behind him, and he almost always did. But with that though, game's not over just yet. We got one more map on Split to go. We'll be back in 5. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll see you soon.